Hey everybody. So in this video, I wanted to make a season 1 tier list for Marvel Rivals, but I will say that this video will be more of like a early review plus my predictions for what I think all the characters are going to be at from a high level perspective. I've been top 500 and High Eternity for a long time, so I do think I have in general, a good idea of how the game functions, and I should be able to give you guys a pretty good prediction for how the game will turn out by, near the second half of the season 1. But right now, I'll do an updated tier list later, but for right now, this is going to be an early review and my opinions on the character. So with that out of the way, let's actually talk about the characters and get into the tier list. So we have Black Widow at the beginning here. I don't know, Black Widow's an interesting one. They did buff her, and Storm is in the meta with Mantis, and meaning she can get damage boosted a ton, and because she's damage boosted, she can one-shot headshot. So where does that put her to me? I don't know. I'm going to put her in B tier, honestly. With Storm in the meta and her able to one-shot, I think she could be quite strong. And if you fight, I mean, I've fought some Black Widow players. They're terrifying with the Storm damage boosting her. Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger is interesting. After all the buffs and everything, she might be like maybe S tier. I'm not sure, especially with the triple support meta. Like if you fight Cloak, Luna, Loki, and they just have 3 amazing support ultimates, so you can fight Cloak, Luna, Mantis. Like, I don't know. To me, she might be up there with the other supports, Luna and Mantis at the moment. Just because her healing output is so freaking strong, and her ultimate is now buffed, and she's just an all-around great hero. She can actually dodge ultimates and things like that with her cloak form now, because she can swap to it quicker. I think she's S tier. I'm gonna be real. I think she's really strong. And for everybody, I do want to say that S tier is more like meta, meaning you'll pick or ban these usually. A is like just below S tier, still really strong, but you only ban these really if you're trying to target ban, and then everything below that is like good, okay, and then D is trash. So Hawkeye, I think Hawkeye, the nerfs didn't really touch him too much. I think a good Hawkeye is still S tier. I think he's terrifying. He can still one-shot. He's still able to pressure you a lot. He's really annoying. I think he's up there. Iron Fist. I'm gonna put him in B tier. I think he was still actually pretty strong. If you one-trick him, I've seen a lot of top 500 Iron Fist players that are really annoying. Sure, he's a little bit harder to get value on than Magic and Black Panther, but I still think he can get really good value. And he's not as like team comp dependent like Black Widow, so I think he's like B+, still strong. Moon Knight. I'm gonna put Moon Knight, I think B+ as well. I think they did buff him, which is good. I still think he's a little bit harder to pull off, a little bit more inconsistent. And if you combo him with Groot, Moon Knight can be quite strong with his ult combo. So, I don't know, maybe B+. I don't like his kill pressure outside of his like ult combo is still there, but I think he's projectile and a little situational, so I'm gonna put him in B+ tier. Psylocke, I'm gonna put Psylocke in like A+. I think they did nerf her. Now if you fight like Magneto or something, they can keep somebody alive in the Psylocke ult by bubbling them. But she still has her one-shot combo. I don't know. She might be S-, but I'm gonna put her in A+ because you don't really see her banned anymore. But if you're if you specialize in playing Psylocke, she's terrifying. So I don't know. I'm gonna put her in A+. Extremely strong still, very high damage output, and extremely elusive. Squirrel Girl, I'm gonna put her in B tier as well. I think after the buffs, her ultimate is a bit better. It actually can kill people now. And on very congested maps, I think she can be quite strong. Like if you're playing the Symbiote map, I know that she can be quite terrifying. And I have been running into a lot of Squirrel Girls, even before the patch. Like at the final end of Season 0, I ran into a bunch of Squirrel Girls, and they were annoying then, and they're annoying now. And I've actually lost quite a bit to Squirrel Girl when people one-trick her. So, I don't know. If you one-trick her, I think she can be strong on a lot of maps, especially if you know, like, I don't know. I feel like they must have, like, lineups for where to shoot their acorns to have the most value to poke people down. But yeah, I think she can be quite good. Wolverine, obviously A tier, A+ tier. I think, I mean, if you specialize in Wolverine, you can just win the game. I think he's terrifying, especially after the buff. He's tankier. And I just think right now he's just extremely strong. I think if you're fighting comp with like Doctor Strange, Groot, anything. I mean, even Mr. Fantastic, anything with like a slow front line, you can just absolutely destroy them on cooldown. Now, he is a little bit more dependent on what your team plays, and you can counter him by, say, if you have a mag off tank and he grapples your Doctor Strange, you can bubble the person he grapples in and save them. So there's a little bit of counterplay to him, but I think he's extremely strong, A tier for sure. Now the ones that are hard for me are like Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm. I think Rubber Dude is like, I almost want to put like C tier. Like, he just doesn't do a lot of damage. He plays more like a tank. Maybe I just haven't fought any good ones, but for right now, this might be controversial, but I think he's pretty underwhelming. If I see him in the game, I just ignore him almost. He's not very good. I'm going to be real. If you want carry potential, don't pick him. And Sue Storm, to me, is kind of in the same thing. I'm going to put her B-, like a little bit better than Mr. Fantastic, but maybe it's because she's new and everybody who plays her is really bad. But dude, her healing output can be high, but a lot of people don't really get a lot of value with her because her left click is harder to land. And on top of that, you know, she's projectile, so if you have a very mobile team, she can be hard to heal with. I think she's good maybe in a brawl comp where everybody's more compact. So for example, if you have like Punisher, Groot, Strange, Bucky, characters that are really clumped, she can heal a lot. But if you're in any other comp where there's a lot of mobile heroes, you're just not going to heal very much. So for that reason, I'm going to put her B-. Way too situational, kind of. I'm going to be real. And you know, I would want to rate the thing in the Fire Dude, but unfortunately they're not out yet. Adam Warlock, I'm going to put Adam Warlock in A again. The thing for me with Adam Warlock is that if you're only, like, if you're off healing, so you might have like a Luna Snow and then a Adam Warlock as the second healer, his healing output isn't that strong, but he can do a ridiculous amount of damage. So in order for him to be A tier, you have to be, you know, really good with your aim and know how to put a lot of damage up, because his healing output and all his cooldowns are very long. And his healing output isn't the greatest, so you really have to know how to use your E at the right time without wasting it, use your shift without wasting it, use your ult without it being countered, and also know how to do a lot of damage. So he is a little bit harder to pull off, but if you're really good on him, you can duo heal with him. Or my favorite version of it is if you have a 3 support combo, so if you have like Luna, Mantis, Adam Warlock, Star-Lord, with like triple support and double tank, dude, the amount of damage he can do along with his other utility with 2 other supports who can heal in his stead, he becomes an absolute monster. So to me, he's A tier, really strong. Venom, you know what's funny, I've only seen a couple Venoms, even though they buffed him and he's a really fun support. I'm actually going to do an unranked to GM on Venom. I've already decided. I think he's a really cool character. I'm going to put him, I don't know, I haven't, the issue with me with him is like I haven't seen enough of him. But I'm going to put him in A tier, and the reason for that is the couple times I have seen him, we absolutely stomped, but usually it's because it's a tank player duoed with a dive DPS. So if you play him in a dive comp, he's terrifying. He can absorb a ton of damage. So for example, if you time your engage with a Spider-Man or a Black Panther or Magic, bro, you will get farmed. A freaking good Venom and dive DPS can take over a game. So I'm going to put him in A tier. Sure, maybe if you're solo queuing, he might be a lot harder to pull off and he might be lower, but because we're talking like, you know, in a good situation, he's terrifying. I think he's A tier. Punisher. I'm going to put Punisher in A-. I think he can do a lot of damage, and they buffed Rocket, and Rocket's healing is even better now. And they even buffed Punisher on top of that, so their combo got better and him on his own got better. I think he can be extremely strong, but the reason I'm putting him in A- is he can be hard to pull off. And in solo queue, if you're not being healed, and he has one of the highest deaths per minute, or per 10 minute, I think, of any of the heroes. He has like the dive or the death rate of like a melee dive hero. That's how much he dies. He's very hard to pull off, and if you're not low-key pocketed, you just flop over. But his potential is like S tier. So I'm going to put him like A- tier. So if you're playing ranked and you play with a Rocket, he just becomes a monster. He is a frontline destroyer, but he can be countered. But because his potential is so high, I'm going to put him in A tier. Spider-Man. I do not think he is Mr. Fantastic level. I'm going to put him in B-, or in the middle of B. I think if you play him with dive or like with a good Venom, he's terrifying. Harder to pull off, but he does have very good potential, and I don't think he's useless, kind of like Mr. Fantastic. So I'm gonna put him B tier. Captain America, I put him in B tier my last in tier list in season 0. I'm gonna put him in A tier with Venom. I think right now, again, if you combo with a dive DPS, he can be terrifying. He does a lot in terms of like distracting people in the back line. His damage is okay, but he's more of just like this unkillable distraction that if you let him do whatever he wants, he can take over a game. So you can't really ignore him, but you want to, because it's really hard to kill him. So because of that, I think he can be really strong, especially in solo queue. And if you play him right as like a secondary tank, you obviously don't want to solo tank with him or Venom because they're more like off tanks, but if you can play that off tank role, he can be extremely strong, and even stronger if you have a dive DPS with you. So his potential is insane. I think he's A tier. Bucky, I'm gonna put Bucky in B plus tier. I think, I mean, this might be controversial and I might get hate for it, but I don't know, like when I see a Bucky player, they don't really pop off too much. I think that because he's projectile and he's not the most mobile hero, he is hard to carry with unless you have a comp kind of like a brawly comp that can kind of support him. So for that, I'm going to put him B plus tier. He has potential, but he's very rigid. I don't know. I think he's less flexible than something like Punisher, to be real. Doctor Strange, immediate S tier. They did not touch this dude really. I think his damage is ridiculous. He could one-shot people. His ultimate is just fight-winning, game-winning. He can portal people. He can cut off people from leaving their spawn to guarantee a point. He has so much freaking potential and carry, you know, potential that I think he's ridiculous. I can't believe they didn't nerf him. I think he's S plus tier, God tier hero, probably the best overall hero in the game. I don't know how they didn't nerf him. Insane tankiness, insane utility, insane damage, insane everything. Just nerf this dude. Please nerf him. Like, how have they not touched him? Groot, I'm going to put in A plus tier. I think he has potential. Maybe not A plus tier. I'm going to put him like middle to high A. I think for him, he can be countered. Wolverine just eats him for breakfast and like a fiber diet. I don't know what's going on. Like, he just destroys Groot. And so he is counterable, but his potential is there. He has, you know, good damage, good tankiness, and his ult can be fight winning. He's just a little bit more situational than Doctor Strange. And honestly, I think Doctor Strange should be on the power level of Groot, but he's just, I feel like Doctor Strange is just better than Groot in every way. But Groot is still strong. Don't get it twisted. He's still strong. Penny Parker, we're gonna put her in B tier. She is good in certain situations, but she's only good as an off tank and if you're fighting dive. If you're not fighting dive and you're trying to solo tank as well or something like that, she's really bad. So only pick her if you're like fighting dive and you're off tanking, which happens quite a bit. But I think she's good in the right situation, but very situational. Hela, I'm going to put her in S minus tier. They did nerf her, but with, like I said, her damage breakpoint kind of got nerfed when they nerfed her damage by 5% because of the season bonus thing. But with Mantis in the game or Storm in the game, they kind of make up for her damage loss, and then she can just kill people the same. And even if you don't have the damage bonus and you can't two-tap people, her damage output is still extremely strong, and she's very, very consistent. So I think Hela is still S tier. You still see people picking her, banning her. She's like Hawkeye. I think she's better than Hawkeye still. I think she's just too consistent. I think she's just hard to deal with, very strong. Jeff. Where do I want to put Jeffrey, man? Where do I want to put Jeffrey? I don't know. They actually nerfed him. But if you if you put him in a triple support comp, I actually think he's really strong. Like with Mr. Fantastic, I feel like he can be okay. He's not like D tier where he's troll picking, but I feel like at least with Jeff the Landshark, he can kill an entire team on his own. So there is potential, and if you're triple supporting, he can play more of an assassin playstyle. I don't know if you guys have ever fought a Jeff that, you know, plays in your backline and just kills people, but he can be played like that. And if you play him in like triple support and you use his ultimate effectively, he's terrifying. So I'm gonna put him B tier. It's very situational, but he's not like troll or bad. I mean, Luna, I'm gonna go ahead and put Luna and Mantis S tier. You know, these are meta. Honestly, I'm going to put her with, like, maybe in front of Cloak and Dagger. Luna ultimate, they didn't nerf it. How does she still have a 12-second ultimate? Mantis, I mean, come on, bro. Mantis is just, does a lot of damage. Not much to be said here. I put, you know, if you've played the game, you know they're S tier. You pick them, you ban them sometimes. I think maybe I'll put Mantis at the very bottom. Mantis is like a god tier solo queue hero. I hit top 500 playing only Mantis for a while. And Luna's ultimate is just game breaking. So until they nerf Luna ult and nerf Mantis's damage, I feel like they're always going to be S tier, just god tier. So yeah, not much to say there. We're going to do Black Panther now. I think Black Panther is A+ tier. Maybe a little bit more situational than S tier heroes. Like if you look at S tier, they're pretty much heroes that you can pick no matter what. You can't always do that with Black Panther, but the reason I put him in A+ tier is with dive tanks being buffed and him already being strong, he can just kill the entire team on repeat by himself, 1v4. He's ridiculous if played well. They did nerf him a little bit, which I think was warranted. I know some people thought that was troll, but no. I think top 500 Black Panther one tricks are terrifying. I hate fighting him. He's annoying and he's hard to counter unless you have a good Namor. If you have, I mean, Namor counters him, but if they ban Luna and Namor doesn't have that like slowing octopus, I mean, even Namor has a hard time into him sometimes. So Black Panther's god tier hero if you're good at him. Magneto, where do I want to put him? It's either A+ or S tier. Magneto's really strong. He does a lot of damage, great ability. I'm gonna put him like S- tier. I think he's like always meta, always picked. You don't really see him banned like Doctor Strange, but maybe I'll put him A+. I think I'll put him A+ because you don't really see him banned, but he's still extremely strong. Like great utility, great defensiveness, all around god tier hero. And Thor, I'm gonna put Thor like B+ tier. I think he's not, I don't know, maybe Thor is A tier, but for me I feel like he's a little bit clunky and you can just completely obliterate him. So I don't know. I still think he's B tier, B+ tier probably. Has a lot of potential though. I have seen people one trick him, and if you're off tanking, he can still get a lot of value. Scarlet Witch, I'm gonna put her C tier. They did buff her, but I haven't seen a lot of Scarlet Witches. I have seen a duo play Scarlet Witch and Magneto, but they didn't really get a whole lot of value. I think she's kind of troll still. I don't know. Not like troll, which is like D tier, but not that strong. I think she's like Mr. Fantastic, where like I don't really want them on my team. Rocket, bro, Rocket's going in the A+ tier, baby. Finally, the little raccoon is getting love. After they buffed his healing, he actually feels like he heals a lot. He can heal himself with his own healing, and he's very hard to kill in general. So if you fight Dive and you pick Rocket, he's actually very hard to kill. So he's getting to Dive. He's great with Punisher or Bucky, and his healing output on his own is really strong. If you're playing like triple support, to me, he's god tier because you don't really need another third defensive ult. You now have wiggle room to use his damage ultimate, and I don't know. I think he is strong. I think he maybe not Wolverine level, but I think he's A tier, solid hero. He's now pretty damn good, especially now that they buff Punisher. Loki, I'm putting Loki A+ tier. Now you do have to specialize him in him to be very good at him, but his ultimate is extremely strong. And if you pick like Luna Snow Loki, their healing output is crazy, their utility is crazy, and he can copy Luna ult and have 24 seconds of immunity basically for his entire team. So Loki to me, same as before, A+ tier, bordering S. He's god tier, very good hero. He's a little bit trickier to play, but still very strong. Magic up there again with Black Panther. I mean, Magic and Black Panther kind of just destroy the lobby. Let's be real. If you fight a one trick, you're terrified of Magic. She can one-shot people. She's tanky, kind of, has iframes and can teleport. They even buffed her ultimate to make it scarier. Now it gets more value. So yeah, Magic, terrifying hero, if played well, up there with the best, in my opinion. Storm, after all the buffs, I'm going to put her as the best DPS in the game. Now her utility is insane. She can boost her team up if they're trying to get to point quicker, or rotate. She can now damage boost her Hela, her Hawkeye, and Black Widow. I have seen Black Widows who just stand with their storm and kill everybody. It's terrifying. And on top of all that utility, she has a great ultimate that can team wipe, and her damage output on her own now is actually extremely strong. I think she is one of the best heroes in the game right now. So yeah, pick her if you want to be, you know, inflating your rank. Okay, we're gonna have Iron Man. Iron Man, to me, I'm gonna put him A-, right? On his own, he isn't that strong, but with Gamma Beam and Hulk, to me, he's God tier, right? So I don't know. He can be God tier or he can be B tier. So S or B tier. We're gonna go right down the middle, put him A tier. Amazing OP in the right situation, especially if you ban like Hela or anything that can kill him and he has Gamma Beam. But if he doesn't have that, or they're playing Hela and he doesn't have Gamma Beam, he's gonna get turbo farmed. So very high potential, but not S tier, in my opinion, because of his situational nature. We're gonna put, hey, we have a lot of A tier heroes, man. We're gonna put Star-Lord middle of A tier. Now, I don't think he has as much innate kill pressure, or not, sorry, no, he has very high kill pressure, and I play a lot of Star-Lord, but I think he's a bit trickier. He takes a lot of aim, a lot of mechanics, and a lot of good decision making. He's very elusive with very high damage, and that's a dangerous combo. But okay, and I know people are gonna call me troll. Maybe they think he's S tier. I don't think he's S tier. I think you kind of have to specialize him, kind of like with Black Panther and Magic. But if you specialize in him, he can be terrifying. I hit top 500 playing Star-Lord, really good. And if you duo with the support that can help enable you, he can just be a monster. So all around good hero. You can kind of pick him in any situation. Doesn't matter. He's an all around strong hero. Boom, solid A tier pick. Hulk. I'm gonna put Hulk S tier with Doctor Strange. They did nerf him, but what makes him so strong? One, he's an amazing off tank. A good one can just be annoying, get in, out, annoy your backline, tickle your backline, distract them while his team, you know, bulldozes your team, and your supports are worried about him, so they're not healing, and then your team dies. Oh, and guess what? Hulk just jumps out, gets out for free. So on his own, he's extremely strong. And then you combo that with his ultimate, which has very good stall pressure and even some kill pressure if he plays it right. On top of that, he has Gamma Beam potential. And his team up with Strange, who is S tier already, and Iron Man, who can become a god with Gamma Beam. Hulk just becomes bannable. When you put everything together, he's like a bannable hero. So I'm gonna put him S tier. He's one of the best. I'm gonna be real. Namor, A+ hero. I mean, I kind of want to put Namor in S- tier, man. I think he might even be better than Hawkeye on average. Hawkeye has more potential to carry, but Namor, man, he's great into dive. He's great on his own, very high damage. His hitbox on his spear is very forgiving, so he's very easy to play. He has a get out of jail free card with the shift. His ultimate can be strong when comboed with other things like Doctor Strange ult or Groot ult, anything like that can crowd control people. All around solid hero. He might be S- tier, A+ tier. I'm gonna put him at the top of A. Namor, I don't know why they buffed the Namor. That's like buffing Wolverine. Oh wait, they did that too. I don't know what they were cooking, why they think they needed to buff Namor. He was already bordering S tier. He might actually be S tier, I'm not sure. But you don't really see him banned because I feel like there are other heroes that take precedent over him. So I'm gonna, put him A+. Yeah, that's going to be my tier list for the, early season predictions. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, I want to know your guys' opinions on my tier list. I know some of you guys called me troll in the last one, but maybe this one you think I'm trolling again, especially with putting like Spider-Man and Black Widow in B tier. But I'm going to put them above Penny Parker. I think Black Widow has potential now. Spider-Man has potential. But, let me know what you guys think. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching.